Isn't it amazing how many people remain blind to the efforts you continually put into their lives? It's as if they don't realize that, while they are stuck in their own worlds, you are deep in the background, constantly lifting them up in prayer, offering words of encouragement, and showing up in ways they never expect. You give them your time, your energy, and even go out of your way to make sure everything runs smoothly. Yet, for some strange reason, they remain unaware, lost in their own emotions, only to drift away when things don't align with their desires. You've probably noticed how, on some days, these people seem to be on your side, full of appreciation, and yet the next day they grow cold, overwhelmed by their own insecurities. They can't handle the pace at which you are growing, evolving, and constantly moving forward. You are not the type to remain stagnant or cling to one thing. You are always seeking new opportunities, experimenting with new approaches, expanding your horizons. And it is this same dynamism that makes others feel uncomfortable. They simply can't keep up. As you continue to evolve, you may notice that the more you change, the more people seem to distance themselves. It's not that you are doing something wrong. Quite the opposite. You are embracing growth, while they cling to their comfort zones, terrified of change. They can't stand that you are no longer the same person they once knew. Your willingness to adapt, shift gears, and embrace transformation confuses them, making them skeptical of your motives. What perplexes them most is that they can't put you in a box. Yesterday, you may have enjoyed something as simple as a casual chat, but today you've shifted gears. You are focused, determined, and uninterested in small talk. It's not because you are being inconsistent. It's because you are evolving. You are learning, expanding, and becoming more in tune with who you are and what you are called to do. And this is disturbing to those who do not have the same drive. They wonder why their tactics to control or influence you no longer work. They question your authenticity without realizing that you are simply growing beyond the limitations they try to place on you. You see, when people can't keep up with your growth, they begin projecting their own insecurities onto you. They see you stepping into new roles, embracing opportunities, and walking in your purpose, and that scares them. Instead of celebrating your evolution, they grow suspicious. It's as if your very existence, your light, makes them uncomfortable because it exposes their unwillingness to grow. But despite all the doubts and negative energy, you keep showing up. You keep moving forward, motivated by something greater than their opinions. And here's the thing, what they don't understand is that you are not trying to impress them. You are not here to fit into their expectations or make them feel comfortable. You are walking a path designed for you, and that means you will change. You will grow. And yes, that growth will make some people uncomfortable, but that's okay. It is not your job to dim your light just to make them feel better about themselves. There is something powerful about the journey you are on. You may not always understand why certain people are drawn to you or why they suddenly grow cold. But know this, they see the anointing on your life. They may not say it out loud, but they feel it. That's why they keep coming back, even when their actions are full of contradictions. One minute they are seeking your presence, basking in the glow of your kindness, and the next, they are distancing themselves, unsure of what to do with your strength. It is a confusing place to be. Constantly giving to others, pouring into them, praying for their well-being, and lifting them up in ways they don't even realize. Yet no matter how much you do, there's always this sense that they can't fully comprehend who you are. They can't see the depth of your sacrifice, the nights you spent in prayer, the moments you chose to forgive when you didn't have to. But here's what you need to understand. It's not about them. It's about you walking in the purpose that was set for you long before they entered your life. One of the hardest truths you've had to face is that not everyone is meant to walk with you on this journey. Some people are in your life for a season, and when their purpose is fulfilled, it's time for them to go. That doesn't mean you failed or that your efforts were wasted. It simply means their chapter in your life has come to an end. It's painful, I know, especially when you've poured so much of yourself into them, praying for their healing, their success, and their peace. Yet despite all your sacrifices, they never seem to acknowledge your presence or appreciate the weight of your efforts. But even in the midst of this pain, there is a release. Every time you let go of someone who refuses to grow with you, you are freeing yourself from carrying the weight of their stagnation. You are freeing yourself from the toxicity that would have held you back if you stayed in a place where you no longer belong. And that's the beauty of your journey. You are not just moving forward. You are being guided, shaped, and molded into the person you are meant to become. God has a way of hiding you from those who are not meant to see your worth. You could be standing right in front of someone, offering everything you have, but they will remain blind to your value because they were not meant to recognize it. They were not meant to travel with you for the long haul. Some people enter your life just to teach you something, or for you to teach them, and once that lesson is learned, it's time to move on. That's why, when you begin to evolve, certain individuals can't keep up. They weren't made for it. As you continue to embrace who you are becoming, you'll find that letting go becomes a necessary part of the process. You will have to leave behind certain people, places, and even habits that no longer serve the person you are becoming. And yes, this may upset those around you. They've grown accustomed to the old version of you, the one who fit neatly into their expectations. But now, you are showing up as someone new, and that threatens their sense of security. They may accuse you of changing too fast, of being unpredictable, or of no longer caring. But the truth is, you are simply no longer willing to conform to the old patterns that kept you limited. You are showing up as your true self, unapologetically, and that requires shedding the layers of who you used to be. In letting go, you are making room for new blessings, new opportunities, and new people who are aligned with your journey. People often project their own fears and insecurities onto you when they see you thriving. They don't understand why things seem to be falling into place for you, why you are always one step ahead, or why you are able to navigate challenges with grace. What they fail to realize is that you are being guided by a higher power. You have been following that divine nudge, trusting your intuition, and walking in faith. And because of that, the doors that are meant for you are opening. One of the most challenging parts of your journey is realizing that not everyone will understand the favor resting on your life. People will see the blessings flowing to you, the opportunities coming your way, and they will assume it's just luck or coincidence. But you know it's deeper than that. You have been obedient to the path laid out for you, trusting in God's plan, even when it didn't make sense to others. It is that obedience, that faithfulness that has brought you to this place of favor. What people don't realize is that this favor didn't come without a cost. They see the blessings, but they don't see the battles you fought in private. They don't see the sleepless nights, the tears you've cried, or the sacrifices you've made. They don't see the spiritual warfare you've endured or the moments when you wanted to give up but kept going anyway. They see only the results, not the process. And because of that, they become envious. Envy is a powerful force, and when people can't understand why you are so favored, they start projecting their jealousy onto you. They begin questioning your intentions, your actions, and your motives. They might even accuse you of being fake, not realizing that your kindness, generosity, and love come from a place of genuine faith. You're not here to boast or show off. You're simply walking in the grace that has been given to you. But as frustrating as it may be, you have to remember that their misunderstanding is not your responsibility. Your journey is between you and God. He is the one who opened these doors for you, and He is the one who continues to guide you. regardless of what others think or say. Letting go of people who refuse to see your value is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-love. You've spent enough time trying to convince people of your worth, showing up for them, and pouring into them, only to be met with indifference or even hostility. Now it's time to protect your peace. You've learned that you can't force someone to appreciate what they refuse to acknowledge. It's time to let go of the people who can't handle your growth, who can't support your journey, and who refuse to see the blessing that you are. You're not abandoning them out of bitterness or anger. You're simply choosing to prioritize your well-being. You can't afford to carry the weight of other people's insecurities or hold yourself back just to make them feel comfortable. You were called to walk a higher path, and that means leaving behind anyone or anything that no longer aligns with your purpose. As you let go, you will find that God replaces those people with individuals who are meant to be in your life. People who celebrate your growth, who support your dreams, and who are as dedicated to you as you are to them. These are the people who see your worth without you having to prove it. They recognize the anointing on your life and encourage you to keep walking in your purpose. One thing you need to understand is that as long as you continue walking in your purpose, there will always be resistance. The more you step into your calling, the more opposition you will face. This is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It's confirmation that you are exactly where you need to be. The enemy doesn't attack what isn't a threat. The fact that you are facing challenges, criticism, or even betrayal is proof that you are doing something right. But here's the good news. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Yes, the weapons may be formed. Yes, the attacks may come. But they will not derail your purpose. God's protection over your life is stronger than any force that tries to come against you. You may feel the pain of betrayal, the hurt of being misunderstood, or the frustration of being overlooked. But none of these things can stop the plans God has for you. In these moments of resistance, it's important to remember who you are and whose you are. You are chosen, set apart for a divine purpose, and nothing can change that. No amount of negativity, jealousy, or opposition can take away the favor that has been placed on your life. So when the enemy tries to make you doubt your worth, stand firm in your faith. Keep showing up, keep praying, keep doing what you were called to do. You may not always feel strong, especially when the weight of others' doubts and criticism weighs on you. But the truth is, you are much stronger than you think. Every time you choose to keep going, despite the odds, you are flexing a spiritual muscle that most people never develop. It's in those moments when you feel the most tired, the most drained, that your true strength shines. You keep showing up, not for recognition, not for applause, but because there is something deep inside you that won't let you give up. That is the mark of a chosen one. People wonder how you do it, how you manage to stay positive, how you keep moving forward when everything seems to be against you. What they don't understand is that your strength doesn't come from your own willpower. It comes from something greater. God has equipped you with a resilience that surpasses human understanding. It is this divine strength that allows you to forgive when others hold grudges. It is this spiritual resilience that allows you to keep loving, even when you've been hurt. And in this world, where so many are quick to give up or give in, your persistence is a testimony. Every time you get back up after being knocked down, every time you keep moving forward when others would have quit, you are proving that nothing can break the spirit of a chosen one. Your strength is a beacon, not just for you, but for those who are watching you, because believe me, people are watching. As you continue on your path, you will notice that fear tries to creep in at every corner. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of losing people you thought would always be there. But here's the thing. Fear has no place in the life of someone walking in divine purpose. Yes, the world will throw all kinds of challenges in your way, but your steps are guided by faith, not fear. There will be moments when the uncertainty feels overwhelming, when you can't see the road ahead clearly, and everything feels chaotic. But it is in those moments that your faith must take the lead. You've been here before, haven't you? Faced with a situation where you didn't know how things were going to work out. But somehow, they did. Somehow, God always made a way, even when there seemed to be no way. This is what faith looks like. It's not about having all the answers. It's about trusting that even in the storm, you are being carried. Fear tells you to stop, to retreat, to play it safe. But faith pushes you forward. Faith reminds you that you are not walking alone, that every step you take is ordered, even when the path seems unclear. So when fear tries to paralyze you, remember how far you've come. Remember the battles you've already won, the doors that have already opened for you, and the grace that has carried you this far. Keep walking in faith. One thing that is easy to forget when you are constantly on the move, growing and evolving, is the impact of your presence. People often underestimate the power of simply being who you are. They may not say it, but your very existence, the way you carry yourself, and the energy you bring into a room change the atmosphere. There is a light inside of you that shines so brightly that it cannot be ignored, even by those who pretend not to see it. And that's what often confuses people. They can't figure out why. Just by being around you, they feel more hopeful, more inspired, more alive. They don't realize that it's the favor of God that you carry, the blessing that rests upon your shoulders. It's the anointing that moves with you, touching everyone around you, even when they don't understand. But here's the reality. Your very presence is a gift. It brings healing, encouragement, and peace, even in the most unlikely places. And while some people may never acknowledge it, deep down, they know there's something special about you. You are the kind of person who brings light to darkness, who brings calm to chaos. Never underestimate the power of simply being who God created you to be. With all this favor, all this light, comes a price. Being chosen is not easy. It means carrying burdens that others don't have to bear. It means walking paths that others will never understand. And sometimes, it means standing alone when everyone else walks away. The weight of being chosen is real, but so is the grace that sustains you. You've probably felt it. The weight of knowing you are different, that your journey is unique. And while it can be lonely at times, it is also a blessing. God has set you apart for something greater, something that not everyone is called to do. And with that calling comes the strength to carry it. You may not always feel strong. You may have moments of doubt, moments when you wonder if it's worth it, if the constant battles and resistance are a sign that you're on the wrong path. But remember this: opposition is proof of your purpose. If you weren't a threat, the enemy wouldn't bother with you. So, take heart. Every challenge you face is refining you, preparing you for the next level of your journey. There's a battle going on that you may not always see, but you certainly feel. It's the battle between the light you carry and the darkness that tries to bring you down. Sometimes, it feels like the more you step into your purpose, the stronger the opposition becomes. The enemy will try to distract you, discourage you, and even use those closest to you to sow seeds of doubt. But here's what you need to know. The light within you is far more powerful than any force of darkness that comes against you. The enemy's tactics are designed to make you question yourself, to make you doubt the path you are on. It's subtle at first, a comment here, a disappointment there. But over time, if you're not careful, it can start to wear you down. That's why it's so important to stay connected to your source, to stay grounded in prayer, and to surround yourself with people who lift you up. You are a vessel of light in a world that often feels consumed by darkness, and that makes you a target. But the very fact that you are a target is evidence that your light is making a difference. You are disrupting the enemy's plans simply by walking in your truth, by being who God called you to be. So keep shining, even when the darkness presses in. Remember, light always wins. One of the greatest gifts you've been given is the ability to discern. It's that still, small voice inside of you that lets you know when something is off, even when everything seems fine on the surface. It's that nudge in your spirit that tells you to be cautious, to pay attention, to pull back when others are moving forward. And while it may feel like a burden at times, constantly sensing things that others don't, that gift of discernment is actually one of your greatest strengths. Not everyone has the ability to see beyond what's in front of them. Many people go through life without questioning what's really going on around them. But you, chosen one, have been given the eyes to see and the ears to hear. You can pick up on hidden motives, unspoken intentions, the energy that others ignore. And while it can sometimes feel overwhelming, it's also what protects you from falling into traps. Discernment is what keeps you one step ahead. It's what allows you to navigate complicated situations with grace and wisdom. So trust that gift. Don't doubt yourself when your spirit tells you something isn't right. Most of the time, you're picking up on things that haven't yet revealed themselves. God gave you this ability for a reason, to keep you safe, to keep you on the right path, and to help guide those who are meant to follow your lead. As a chosen one, your energy is sacred. You carry a light that others are naturally drawn to, whether they realize it or not. Some people will enter your life and pour into you, just as you pour into them. These are the relationships that feel balanced, that bring peace, and that help you grow. But there are others who come into your life with the sole intention of draining you. These people may not even realize what they are doing. They aren't always malicious, but their presence in your life feels heavy. They take more than they give. They rely on you for emotional, spiritual, or even physical support, without offering anything in return. Over time, these relationships can leave you feeling exhausted, depleted, and disconnected from your own purpose. That's why it's so important to protect your energy. You can't serve from an empty cup, and if you're constantly giving without replenishing, you will eventually burn out. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say no. You don't owe anyone constant access to your time, your energy, or your spirit. You have to protect what is precious because, without that protection, you'll have nothing left to give to the people who truly need you. One of the things many chosen ones struggle with is the feeling of loneliness. It's not that you don't have people around you, sometimes you're surrounded by others, but there is a deep sense of loneliness that accompanies your journey. This can be confusing because you might wonder why. If you're walking in your purpose, you often feel so alone. But here's the truth. Loneliness is not a punishment. It's a gift. In those moments of silence, when it's just you and God, that's when the greatest growth happens. It's in the loneliness that you hear His voice most clearly. It's in the loneliness that you gain the strength to keep going on your path, even when it feels overwhelming. While the world moves at a frenetic pace, trying to fill every moment with noise and distraction, you have been given the blessing of loneliness so you can listen, reflect, and connect more deeply with your purpose. Yes, it can feel lonely at times, but it's in those moments of solitude that you are being refined, strengthened, and prepared for what's to come. Embrace the silence. Embrace the stillness. It's in those moments that the deepest transformations happen. As a chosen one, people often place expectations on you that they wouldn't place on anyone else. They expect you to always be okay, to always be the strong one, the wise one, the one who knows what to do. And while you carry a certain wisdom and strength, you are still human. There will be days when you feel weak, when you don't have all the answers, and when you need support just as much as anyone else. But what's frustrating is that many people don't recognize this. They will continue to lean on you, expecting you to be their rock, without considering that you might need someone to lean on too. This can create a heavy burden, leaving you feeling isolated, misunderstood, and even resentful at times. The truth is, you don't have to meet everyone's expectations. You are allowed to step back. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be vulnerable. The people who truly care about you will understand this. They won't place impossible demands on you, and they won't make you feel guilty for needing a break. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. One of the hardest lessons you will learn on this journey is knowing when to walk away. Some people will never change, no matter how much love, patience, or forgiveness you offer. They will continue to hurt you, take advantage of you, or drain your energy. And while it's natural to want to help, heal, and be a source of light for everyone you meet, you have to recognize when it's time to let go. Toxic relationships, whether they are with friends, family, or romantic partners, will only hold you back. They keep you trapped in patterns of negativity, making it impossible for you to grow and become the person you are meant to be. Walking away doesn't mean you've given up on someone. It simply means you've chosen to prioritize your own well-being. It's one of the hardest decisions to make, but once you do, you will feel a sense of freedom you haven't felt in a long time. You will realize that you can still love people from a distance, but you don't have to allow them to hurt you. You deserve relationships that are healthy, balanced, and filled with mutual respect. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools you have as a chosen one. It's easy to hold on to anger, bitterness, or resentment when people hurt you. But forgiveness doesn't mean you are excusing their behavior. It means you are freeing yourself from the weight of that hurt. You are choosing to release the negativity and focus on your own healing. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. It allows you to move forward without carrying the baggage of the past. It doesn't mean you have to reconcile with the person who wronged you or forget what happened. It simply means you are no longer allowing that hurt to control your life. When you forgive, you are giving yourself the gift of peace. You are choosing to focus on your own growth, your own happiness, and your own well-being. And in doing so, you are breaking the chains that would otherwise keep you tied to the past. After all the trials, challenges, and lessons, there comes a point when you realize that everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. The betrayals, the hurts, the setbacks. They were all part of the process of refining you, of molding you into the person you are today. You are stronger, wiser, and more resilient because of what you've been through. And now, it's time to step fully into your purpose. You've spent enough time doubting yourself, questioning your worth, and wondering if you are capable of achieving the vision that has been placed on your heart. Now is the time to move forward with confidence, knowing that you have been prepared for this moment. The road ahead won't be easy, but you are ready for it. You are equipped for it. As you step into this new chapter of your life, remember that the journey you've been on has prepared you for everything that's to come. You've faced challenges that have tested your faith, endured moments of isolation that have deepened your strength, and become the person you were always meant to be. Now it's time to fully embrace your purpose, knowing that every experience, good or bad, has brought you to this moment. You are ready. You are chosen. and the world is waiting for you to step into the fullness of who you are. As you continue to walk in your purpose, know that God is with you every step of the way, guiding, protecting, and strengthening you for what's to come. And if you resonated with this message, if you feel the call to keep growing and walking in your purpose, I invite you to join us on this journey. Subscribe to this channel, where we continue to explore the spiritual path of the chosen ones. Together, we can uplift, encourage, and inspire one another as we navigate the beautiful yet challenging road ahead. Leave a comment below on how this message touched your heart, and let's keep walking this journey together. Remember, you are not alone in this. Until next time, stay blessed, stay strong, and keep shining your light. Peace.